to gank. And Refraction is a very nice tool against Newbee right now, who don't have any form of instance damage. So even though Overload autos take 2 Refraction charges, you're still going to have to commit pretty heavily. Like, you're going to need a charge, you're probably going to need the bounty to be there as well. And then you could probably try to kill the TA at that point. So I'm assuming that right now Newbee are going to be either focusing on that, or they're just going to say, alright, the supports are fairly weak, let's just try to split like 2-on-2 and just get as much experience as we can during the laning phase. But I'm kind of leaning more towards Newbee going off and trying to create some sort of chaos during this early game, because if I'm looking at these heroes right now on Hot 6, like Clockwork and TA are definitely the more kind of reliable sustain heroes during the early game who can actually play aggressive if they want to. They're pretty self-sufficient in lane. And the Lion and the Dazzle, they're a little bit weak. I think they're going to try to exploit that.
Final ban here from the side of Hot 6, the Viper. Of course, the side of Newbee looking to get something that may go against the TA. They could have grabbed themselves the Razor here, so...
Could be mid-Razor.
I was going to say they could swap this one around with the Storm if they wish to do so. And of course it does prove, well, shows us that it is going to be Alina in the support capacity rather than in a core role. Now Hot 6 with their final selection, still looking for that safe lane hero. We'd imagine if the TA is going to stick to the mid. And the question is, who do they grab at this point? Looking at what's been taken out, obviously Ember Spirit was the final ban here from Newbee. So we're worried about that one being selected, but anyone else come to mind that we haven't seen so far in the draft?
Something that can actually lane well. Like, they need a safe laner who can sit there and not have to worry about Spearbreaker off lane. So anything range comes to mind. I really like Clinks in matchups where you have an orb walking hero against range, or against melee, but they're going to go with Seeker. I actually feel like Storm is a counter to Bloodseeker in a way, and in the sense that you don't have to really take damage to move around as Storm, but he is very good against heroes like Razor, Bounty, and Lina, and I guess Spearbreaker as well. So they're going to go with the BH. I really favor Newbee's draft, though. I think that their early mid-game is going to be ridiculously strong. And if MVP Hot 6 can get out of the laning phase without giving away too much, and, you know, Banana's not able to find any early kills, and they can hold down mid maybe a bit with this TA matchup versus the Storm, which I believe, yeah, Rabbit's playing Storm, so I think it's either going to be him or Razor mid. I don't know, man. I really favor Newbee here.
Alright, it's certainly looking like a strong lineup from the side, but Hot 6, well, as we were saying, both teams really need to win this series. Very important for both of them. So I'm sure they'll both be bringing the top of their game. And here we go, into the map. MVP Hot 6 up against the side of Newbee in what's going to be the penultimate group stage game we're going to be showing here on the third stream here at the International 2015. Hot 6 in terms of lanes, pretty much what we've expected. Coming from the side, Forever, of course, their carry one will be on that safe lane Seeker, I'd imagine. I mean, they still could swap it, but TA looking at, I guess it depends what they feel they're going to go against. Over on the side of Newbee, no, what was Moo? Moo was on, yeah, it was on the Razor, so it is almost certainly going to be the Razor mid. And okay, yeah, TA's been put out, so it's going to be this TA versus Razor in the mid lane. I mean, who's
Razor dominates like. The thing with TA versus Razor is TA actually has such short attack range before you start getting points, and a Psyblade. She's basically a melee hero. I think she has like 12 more range than a normal melee hero does. And that pretty much means you're going to get static linked, and even if you use Meld, the link still gets channeled. So you essentially have to run away every single time static link is cast. Like, that is a huge nuisance during the laning phase of TA, because you can't stand there and just lose all your damage, right? So the lane is 100% Razor favored.
Banana's already able to get himself a nice deep ward here into the jungle. Looking for the D ward here, Hot 6, but no vision has been placed down for Newbee as well. Banana will walk underneath this here, so they'll ping him out. The battle begins. Alright, going to be able to go for it now. Banana very nicely with the sentry will be able to get the D ward.
Oh, the tango.
Not in time indeed.
He's got another sentry though, if he wants to. But I don't know if this sentry... Oh, no, he pinged it. Okay, so he does know there's a ward there.
Okay.
So he's probably just going to wait and then go back in, drop another sentry, and then just tango. It's the safest thing. Or maybe he waits for Heem to show, and then after he sees it, he goes in. Because it's pretty common to have the support just sit mid and drop an early sentry. So yeah, now he sees it.
They're preparing themselves as much as they can here for the Bounty Hunter. Will be roaming around. June, of course, on his own on this top lane, up against Forev and Jerax. The Bloodseeker line, and there we go. Yeah, Heem Being scouted out here by Banana. He's just going to hang around trying to create some space here for MP on the TA. So he can get ahead of the Razor, because other than that, it's going to be a very hard lane here for the Templar Assassin. And then bottom lane, you've got this Clock, and it's going to be this Rabbit farming safe lane Storm. And, I mean, should this lane be too much of a difficulty here for the Storm, or is this going to be pretty much free farm for the Blue Man?
He'll be alright. The one thing, though, is that Sunby, he could potentially get a solo kill if he manages to hit 3 and catches out Sansheng. That's going to be the big thing to watch out for if you're in the safe lane for Newbee, because you know you don't have both of your supports in the area. Banana's kind of just walking around doing his information gathering and trying to cause chaos during the early game. So if he manages to get like unobstructed EXP, which seems like he kind of is right now, he can get solo kill potential on this lane, especially before the Storm hits 6. It's very, very scary.
Mid lane, we're seeing he just doing what he can against Moon. Sorry if we just switch over to the last hits at the moment in your mid lane. 5 for 4 on your Razor, 4 for 2 on the TA, so still Mr. Moo having the slightly favourable time here in the laning stage. And Rabbit, of course, 7 for 1 compared to Forev's 8 for 3, 9 for 3. So nothing too much happening across the map. There's going to be a charge coming out here from June, just scaring MP away from this rune spot, so Banana will be able to secure it. As he's going to pick that one up for himself. Bounty Hunter gets the illusion and move, going in again on MP, stealing away that damage, making the lane harder and harder for the Templar Assassin to hold on to.
And this lane's pretty much unwinnable for MP. There's actually nothing you can do against Razor. So unless Heen is sitting here and forcing Moo to not throw out the static link, I mean, that's pretty much the best thing he can do. Because if there's a support sitting in lane, even if you're using static link onto MP, you're not going to really feel like you can chase him in and get as much damage as he's been doing. So instead of stealing like 3 or 4 seconds worth, you're going to get like 1, which might give you a slight advantage, but it's not as lopsided as MP hitting for 5 damage like 3 minutes into the game. So I like the fact that Heen's still prioritizing this. He's also going to do some ancient stacking as well. So even if MP's not having a great laning phase, he always has that to fall back on, and Newbee's team is very bad at killing stacks, especially ancient stacks.
June and Forev just trading blows here on the top lane. Sun has now hit that level, well, up to level 4 now, but he's opted for the 2 points in the rocket flare, not maxing out the battery assault, so he gets off the back of that feeling that he doesn't really have the potential to catch anyone out and look for a kill at the moment.
That's been kind of, not passive, but both teams just doing their 2-2-1 thing, you know, trying to make sure their mid gets the same advantage as the enemy mid, and then you have the safe lane. If for whatever reason Jerax were to leave here, it just means that June gets more EXP. Even though the Bloodseeker Spearbreaker matchup is probably Bloodseeker favored, one of the few melee heroes in a 1v1 that can probably deal with that, it's just safer to make sure that June doesn't feel confident enough to CS or anything.
I mean, mid lane is, we were saying at the beginning, but it's getting more and more crushed. And bottom lane, this is going to be your first blood. Rabbit going in with Sansheng. We'll be able to find the kill onto Sun and all Banana, bringing Heen incredibly low there with the harassment. And just look, yeah, look at the CS now. 20-15 on Moo, 6 for 3 on MP. This middle lane is an absolute disaster for Hot 6.
Now the Razor, it's one of those things where the matchup is so imbalanced that there's pretty much...
Oh, he hit the stun!
Oh no.
Oh, he didn't quite have the Dragon Slave available.
He's trying to wait it out.
But Bananas... Oh, is he going to get the courier as well? Heen is still alive, 3 HP. Banana won't be able to get the courier, but there's your charge. June gets himself onto the Dazzle, will bring him down. A TP reaction coming in. It's a little bit too late. Moose should be able to get himself out. He has got the salve here, and they're diving incredibly deep. Might be able to find this kill with the plasma field. There's going to be a charge onto Forev. They will lose the Razor. Can June do anything in return? He's going to need a lot of bashes. Oh, he's going to find one. He's going to need another. He's not going to get the second. And Forev should be able to get... He's got a mango and a charge in 4 seconds. And they don't have a ward here, but if Sansheng can give the vision, he's actually going to look to duke this one out. I think they know. The pings are coming. They know he's in here.
Wait, why didn't he go all the way in? Oh my god, are you serious right now?
Oh, disaster. Forev with the jukes.
Alright.
That was...
he only walked like halfway in. He could have just walked a little bit more to the left and would have spotted him. Unfortunate.
Well, nonetheless, 2 for 1 on the board here. Good start here for the side of Newbee. As June was there with the rotations in time. It was just unfortunate they did lose Moo there, as a very big dive came in from the side of Hot 6.
And no TP reaction coming in. Unfortunately, Rabbit wasn't carrying a TP. He is now. And now that he's level 6, he'll be able to deal with those very aggressive dives with ease. And I think after Hot 6 see that, they're probably less likely to make those YOLO plays. I mean, even rotating Forev over there in the first place is a little bit odd. Like, it's good that he got the counter kill, but it's something that you don't really see. Like, Bloodseeker moves around once he hits 6, not usually prior to that.
Top lane, trying to go in on June. Sansheng is there. He's level 4 as well, so he's got a fair bit of burst, but he's actually standing in the Blood Bright. So he can't help out. Will be silenced, and June's going to go down with no response being able to come out from that Lina.
Can't underestimate Bloodseeker's damage output. This hero hits damn hard, especially with 3 points into Thirst, and those heroes start getting a little bit low. So I enjoy the fact that they partnered Bloodseeker with the Lion, because I always talk about the supports not really dealing a whole lot of damage early, but if you have a hero like Bloodseeker who just deals a ridiculous amount of DPS at an early stage, you can get those kills with relative ease. So now, 2-2, Hot 6 have managed to tie things up. They're still kind of getting out-farmed in the core department. The Seeker has the highest CS, but the Storm and the Razor
bottom lane, well. Talking about the Storm, trying to go in here onto Sun, zipping forward, using all the mana. It's going to be just enough to secure the kill onto Clockwork. Another kill here for Newbee. Sansheng moving towards the mid on his Lina. Moo walking in with the TA. How much is he on? 56 at the moment again. Keeping himself dominating this lane. 34 for 22 against the 18 for 7. This is a pretty sad TA who's now sitting just over 1.5 levels behind Moo.
Again, this is not your happy place. I'm pretty sure somewhere Wagga is just crying right now, watching the TA have to play against the Razor.
He's looking for a charger as well, potentially hiding in the tree line. Sansheng's there as well. They might just go for it. Okay, no, Moo tries to go in with the chase down, but no backup is going to be coming out. Going for that buckler, so it looks like we are going to see the mech being built by this Razor.
Is the only mech carrier on the team, really. I mean, I guess
they could get the bouncy mech.
Banana could buy it, but he's actually just stopped roaming right now. He's being prioritized in terms of EXP, which I think is a really good move. Given right now that your Storm already has the kind of levels that he needs to avoid ganks, he can actually just jungle if he wants to. And the Bounty Hunter doesn't really have anywhere to go because Hot 6 have continually shown that they're going to put supports behind their cores all the time. So the Bounty's not really finding much in the way of roam. Now he just says, whatever, I'll just try to hit level 6, and then once I have my track, I'll probably start moving again.
Forev has now got his Midas. 8 minutes in now on the Bloodseeker, so we are going to start to see his farm increase at a greater rate. He's top of the CS board as well at the moment, so he's had a pretty good old time farming here on the top lane. And yeah, net worth at the moment, he's already on the top. So we'll see if the side of Newbee can do anything against it. They are going to send Rabbit here up to the top lane. And Sun grabbing himself the rune is level 6 and does have the hook shot available. Moving towards the mid lane with the MP and Heen there as well. Maybe Sun can find some kind of initiation here with the hook shot. Newbee, they look like they're looking for something themselves here. They've got June, Rabbit, and yeah, they are indeed. They're going to smoke up here and look towards the top lane. They could do with killing this Bloodseeker. He's been having a fine old time so far, and here we go. Jerax is there, will find the stun, but Rabbit able to duke it out, zipping straight forward with the ball lining. Forev's just a little bit too speedy, so they might have to just turn and keep themselves satisfied with the Jerax killing. Even if they can find that one, Jerax might in fact get out. He gets the finger off with Sun coming in as well. They will be able to take down Sansheng on the Lina. They might find June and Rabbit as well. June trying to charge himself out. Isn't going to happen because of the battery assault. They'll lose June. Forev looking for Banana now on top of it. They did find the Storm as well. MVP Hot 6 with a fantastic turnaround and reaction in the top lane there. That couldn't have gone any better for them.
The way that they walked in was really weird. Like, why do you walk in a straight line when you know that Jerax has been top the entire game? Like, the Impale, I think, hit on 2 or 3 because Rabbit, I think he balled and just dodged it in the first place.
He dodged it when they went in.
So if they don't initiate like that, that is the way that you don't fight into Lion. You do not sit in a straight line for that reason. Same reason why against Sand King you don't do it, because if you're in a straight line, you get everyone stunned.
They're going to go for round 2. They're going to go for round 2. June charging in onto Forev. Here comes your Storm. Straight in, bringing the Bloodseeker back. Banana's trying to get himself in position, but the heal bomb bringing him low. He's going to think twice before revealing himself, and he certainly won't. I'm not able to find anything in Hot 6, looking very comfortable in this top lane.
That was a really big turnaround. First smoke gank, really, that we've seen. First real big commitment coming out of Rabbit, and they managed to turn around. Not only that, but he does die.
They're going to try for MP, though. This might be a little bit easier because the TA hasn't had a great game so far, and will go down. Can they turn it? Blood Bright won't latch onto anyone. Jerax moving forward. He's going to back himself up there. And yeah, so Rabbit able to claim himself that kill there onto the Templar Assassin.
Well, keeping the TA down is definitely going to be a good thing, considering Hot 6 have... They stacked like once on the Ancients, but then they kind of left it alone for a while, so still this TA not really having the greatest start in the world. 28 CS at 10.5 minutes. It's not really great for him at the moment. And June is also going to be level 6 soon, along with Banana, so you can expect Newbee to keep doing kind of what they've been doing, just continually apply pressure. Don't let the supports of Hot 6 get to the mid game completely unobstructed. You still want to try to abuse the fact that, I mean, Keen's level 4 right now, and it's almost 11 minutes in, so he does not have really anything going for him at this point.
Yeah, indeed, Banana with the 6 now hit, looking at MP here, who is taking up these ancient stacks. Banana just going to be able to soak up some of this XP here. And Ping's coming out, in fact, on the top.
Actually, Ancients don't share EXP.
What?
Pretty sure. Because he was standing right there, I just didn't get any XP for it.
Damn. Is that true?
Okay, he was standing right there and he had 101 out of 600 EXP.
Wow. I'm an idiot. I did not know that. Did not know that. Top lane, we are going to see Bloodseeker find a kill onto the Storm Spirit. And that's a big one, catching out the Storm here. 6-5 now. Side of Hot 6 looking pretty good, apart from the TA. It's the only hero really that's relatively behind in comparison to the other side. Zansheng's managed to find himself level 6 here on the bottom lane. And Sun is there, and he has got the...
Oh, that... Alright.
Okay.
Okay, so you know what?
I was going to say he has the hook shot, he doesn't anymore.
Do you know why that happens, though? It's because a lot of Clockwork players will look to where they're hooking instead of where they actually are.
June. This is going to be another kill for your Bloodseeker. He's going to look to simply TP out. It is the right play. Nothing to cancel it. And, I mean, Bloodseeker, you got to be a little bit worried. He's got a Midas, he's got Blade Mail, he's got 5 kills, 1 assist, and they've been yet able to kill him. Bloodseeker is certainly getting out of control now, 12 minutes in.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work. He's kind of the sole reason Hot 6 are in the game at this point. He's pretty much been almost all of their kills, more or less. They do have a mech now up on Razor, so Newbee looking to potentially try to start, maybe not 5-manning, but at the very least looking for some more aggressive plays, because I don't know if they did enough during the early laning phase. During mid-game, Bloodseeker is an absolute monster. Even though he's not great against Storm, he's still good against the other 4 heroes on the team, and Rabbit, as a Storm player, you're not really looking to try to fight into a 5-man. You're more or less looking for the pick and push where Bloodseeker kind of excels. So for now, Rabbit not really able to farm fast enough to really have the impact that he's looking for, and he is going Bloodstone too. So it's going to take an even longer period of time before he's really going to have that kind of threatening presence that you really want your Storm Spirit to have.
MVP grouping up here in the mid. They're ready to fight forever. Has now hit level 11 on the Bloodseeker. 13 minutes in. He's going to want to use his Midas here. And he certainly will. They continue to move around here as a group, heading down towards the bottom lane. At the same time, Newbee, they're grouped up. Moo has got that mechanism ready to go for the next fight. That might be just what they need to hold their own here against Hot 6 if Hot 6 decide to go in. The shot is available for Sun. Moving in there, spotted out Moo here. Does he want to jump in on that? Yes, he does. Straight in onto the Razor. They can burst him down, and with the Hex, there's going to be no chance for him to get off the mech. Nicely done there from Hot 6 Rabbit. Zipping forward onto Sun. They want to try and find a return kill him with another strike. Breed him. No, they won't be able to get it off because the battery is sold. He's going to go out for the TP out. Won't get it because the light strike array will end up going down. So continue to fight Rabbit, trying to do what he can. Hot 6 MP has now turned up, and now with a stun onto Banana and Rabbit. Very nice. Banana getting low, has to get himself out of there. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Look at the speed of Forever. Is he going to dive for this one? He's actually running away. June now with the charge across onto, well, getting himself out of there. In fact, they can't stop it. Jarek's not quite with the mana there for the Hex or the stun. And it will just be this 1-for-1 engagement between the two sides. Hiding behind the tower, Banana is going to look to TP out Forever, searching for him desperately, won't quite find him. But still, more kills here that involve the Bloodseeker. 6 for 0 for 1. And they'll be able to maybe even find this tower. There's going to be a TP coming in fact. And it's going to be Moo. He's backed up by Rabbit. And that's actually going to be enough to spook Forever here. I don't know if they'll think about going back in here. Looks like they're going to think twice. But 1900 gold here on this Bloodseeker now. I mean, he is looking incredibly rich. 8.4k gold. He is nearly 3,000 ahead of the Storm Spirit at 15 minutes in.
Yeah, he's gigantic. Like, at this point, the fact that he's able to have Midas and still participate and still be able to get kills, that's a huge problem for Newbee. Because it's one thing to buy Midas and then have this kind of lull in your contribution in the game where you're not really doing as much because you bought a Midas. He's still been involved in every single one of the team's kills outside of one, right? So for Hot 6, that's fantastic news. It just means that if he wants to go for SNY, he wants to go, you know, for that BKB, he'll have it that much faster. And if he gets BKB at this early of a this early into the game,
it's gonna be ridiculous.
They're gonna have no damage on him at all. Like, he'll be able to just run in, kill the Lina or kill the bounty hunter at the beginning of the fight if he wants to. And at that point, you're not gonna be making those track trades anymore.
And, they throw the blood right down. Still just been a little bit timid about going in. The backup is coming around from Sun here with the clockwork. Hook shot at the ready. Now you're going to have the vision here now onto Mu and Sansheng, and the weave will catch them both. Forever he wants to go, and so does Sun. Straight with the hook shot onto Mu. Mu will get the mech off, and now with the Eye of the Storm, they will be able to turn it, but Sun gets Shallow Graves up here by the Dazzle. Going to buy him some time here. Now with the stun onto June. Forever trying to go in and look at the damage here from this Bloodseeker. Wicked 6 streak now for the man, and he's just going to dive here for Mu. Mu standing there, 1-2, will go down. Forever's going to be able to get himself away and alive, and now the side of Hot 6, they're looking for more. Moving in onto Banana, they'll be able to find Sansheng here on the Lina, and now they're turning towards the Bounty Hunter. Where is Forever's well, because he might be able to find Rabbit. No, he's coming in to help them out with Banana. Isn't needed in the end as Banana will fall. And Hot 6, I've got a 16-minute. They are almost on the point of dominating Newbee. It just feels like Newbee can't do anything against this Bloodseeker lineup at this point in the game.
They needed to just do more during the laning phase. Like, they weren't able to really get a ton. They killed the Clockwork a handful of times, but it doesn't really matter when all the Clockwork has to do during a team fight is just initiate for his team, and then allow the Blood Right to go off and allow the rest of Hot 6 to follow it up. And every single time, because of the fact that the Clockwork goes in, yeah, they're going to get Roche.
TA's got a Deso.
There's nothing...
After that lane start.
They can't stop Roche. There's no way. No one's even in position on the side of Newbee to deal with it at all. But the big thing for me is the Bloodseeker. He's done by far the most on the team. Like, Forev has just brought MVP into this fantastic stage in the game where they can't deal with his level of farm. Like, he just has way too many items. He's going to have full SOY, Blade Mail, with a Midas and Treads at 17 minutes into the game.
Oh my goodness. I'll be honest, I think this is one of the best Bloodseeker performances I've seen in competitive. I don't think I've seen anyone do what Ferrer's been able to do so far this game. There's going to be a hook shot for Sun. Looking for Banana. Banana turning around, just getting the tracks out. June trying to look for the Nether Strike, but the Hex is there. They will be able to follow it up with a stun. Now moving in, but well, the Weave's ticking up. They've got a hell of a lot of armor here, and they've been able to burst down the Spirit Breaker. Sun just trying to walk himself out, getting him away from the Eye of the Storm. Up to the high ground here for Rev. What's he doing? He's just cleaning up the back lines. He's found himself a second kill. He's going to look for Mu here. Won't be able to find it because of the Light Strike Array holding him back. Sansheng buying some time, but Rabbit is the one to be able to find the kills in return. Gets himself a double kill, which does actually make this a favorable trade here for the side of Newbee. But only just, and still they can't kill the Bloodseeker as he just runs havoc across the entire fight. But as we can see on the recap, that does favor Newbee with a 2-for-3 exchange.
It's good for them that they finally managed to get a team fight where they get some more kills than just killing the Clockwork. At this point, killing somebody doesn't matter. Like, it really just means nothing, especially considering Forev is usually able to just clean up. For crying out loud, he's got 625 movement speed, just because 2 heroes are around half health or a little bit lower. So, for this stage in the game, MVP have already made it to a point where they're kind of in their golden time in this game, like anywhere from 20 to 35 minutes or so. That's going to be where the TA and the Bloodseeker just seem kind of indomitable. They're just way too strong for Newbee to fight into directly. Because the thing about Razor is he still needs a little bit of time in the team fight before the static link really starts doing a whole lot for you. And because they have Lion, they have Bloodseeker and TA with a Desolator, their burst is insane. So by the time your static link is draining enough damage to really feel that potent, you're already dead. Like, you're not going to be able to live that long to get a decent link unless you have some frontline hero like perhaps June to buy you that time, but they just die too fast.
It certainly feels like as well, if Newbee take one more bad team fight, it's going to be just incredibly hard for them to turn around. If this Forever gets any more items on him, here we go. They're charging in, looking to try and take this one for themselves. He getting low. Will he be able to get the spells off? He gets the weave off and the Shallow Grave, and they've killed Rabbit. They've killed the Storm, and arguably is one of the heroes doing the best at the moment on the side of Newbee. It's up to Mu. He has stolen AC4 damage here for this fight, but June needs to charge himself away. Actually charges onto Forever, so MVP Hot 6 might be able to chase this. Oh, that's stun! Jerax with the Ravage! June's going to go down as well. It's a double kill for MP, but none of the only one to live. And indeed, what What a stun from Jerax here on the Lion, pretty much securing them those kills off the back of it.
This is getting way out of hand. The thing that makes it even worse is that Rabbit just bought his Bloodstone and immediately dies with it. Doesn't even get to suicide.
Damn.
So he loses charges on top of the fact that Newbee absolutely had no chance of taking that fight. Like, they didn't even touch MP. 4Ev ended the fight with like 80% health. There's going to be almost a full BKB soon up on this Bloodseeker in conjunction with what he already has.
20 minutes in.
It's just insane amounts of snowballing going on. I'll say a lot of this particular game, I think, kind of goes back to when they failed that smoke gang top. And instead of being able to get 2 kills for pretty much free, like they were prioritizing 4Ev. They knew that he was going to be a big threat. And the way they initiate, they just get like 2-man stunned, don't get anything, and then end up losing their safe lane. Those types of commitments, when you have the insane mid-game that Hot 6 have, and you don't punish them that hard in the lanes, they're just going to be able to hit their stride, and they've kind of hit this one out of the park, I feel.
I mean, MP's got his blink now on top of the Dessa. Just going back to how MP was doing in lane, and suddenly he's on 8,800 and Uraze's on 5,800. There's a 3k difference because of all the skirmishing that Hot 6 have found. It's been pretty incredible so far from Hot 6. A fantastic performance. Newbee, of course, looking to turn it. This game means a lot for both sides here. Smoked up. Let's see what they're going to be able to find. They're coming towards this bottom lane, but well, the jump's already going to be there onto Banana. Dust is there, double Dust. Whoa, well, there's no way there he's going to be able to get out. And now with the Hex just in time onto June. Hookshot forward from Forever just cleaning up. It's beyond godlike, and I don't think we're going to see Newbee be able to turn this one unless they've got a bit of a miracle. There's 3 heroes down. MP's chasing down Moo here on the Razor. With this slow, should be able to get himself in for the final slap. And that's everyone bar Rabbit dying. That's another 4 hero wipe for, that the Hot 6 are achieving, and they don't lose anything. It really just seems at this point, Newbee can't even dent the lineup of Hot 6.
It's because they have... Okay, so the Storm has to go on one target, the Spirit Breaker has to go on another, because they have Dazzle, they have Clockwork, and they have Lion. So there's multiple venues for counter initiation, where normally, if you're playing Storm, ideally there's only like maybe one other hero that you have to worry about stopping you. So you can go in, you can pull the guy, maybe Orchid, Heen for example, and then if there was no Clockwork and no Lion, it's like, okay, whatever, I can go for my solo kill, you know? But they can't, because if you're sitting as 5, how does Rabbit actually initiate? When he goes into that fight, he tried to go for Jerax.
Oh, top lane Jerax.
Yeah, he might be dead.
This is smart. He TP'd to the tier 2, uses his blink to close the gap to catch out Rabbit, nice. Allowing time for MP to TP up and find the kill. And now 23 to 10 between these two sides. We'll have a look at the graph. It's not going to be pretty.
No, it's not pretty.
Oh my God. At this point of the game to have that kind of lead, this is, as he keeps saying, a remarkable performance here from Hot 6. And yeah, Bloodseeker, that's pretty much the goal. I think it's about just, what, 55 away from having that the Black King bar. 23 minutes in. I mean, this, it's almost like, it's like a pub Bloodseeker. It's one of those games where he's just out of control, and it seems like Newbee just don't know what to do to deal with it. And there we go. That's the completed BKB on its way.
Every single aggressive move that Newbee has made past the laning phase has just backfired. Like, every single one of their initiations has gone poorly for them. And the thing is with Bounty, you normally think to yourself, all right, we can come back. We just need a couple of good track kills, a couple of pickoffs, and we're right back in it. No big deal. And with a Storm, he's very good at recovering if you can make that happen, but MVP, they don't want to give him a chance.
Yeah, MVP just want to fight. They found Banana here, and here we go. Oh, with the finger, and now with the hook shot onto Moo. Moo's trapped up in the cogs. Fred's just moving in. Moo, incredibly low, might be able to keep himself alive. They're trying to walk himself away. MP's been able to clean up June here on the Spirit Breaker. They do lose the Clockwork, but MP's just looking for more. We'll have been able to catch him out here. Maybe they can burst down the TA. No, the heal's there from Heen. Too much sustain from Hot 6. They're just going to turn their attentions back towards this tier 2 here in the mid lane, and they will be able to find it. And I mean, again, a 2-for-1 exchange, and that was still with Forever. He's not actually picked up his BKB yet. It's still back in base. The courier was back there. Looks like it actually skipped picking up his item, so he'll be able to get that out to him now. It's... we've only seen a few games like this, I feel, in the games we've casted, but this is getting a little bit one-sided now. It's...
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you still have Storm. You still have Track.
You do.
You have to really, really rely on this Storm, though. The problem that he's going to run into is because of the Lion on the other team, he's going to need to buy BKB. Otherwise, he has to wait for Jerax to use Hex and Stun to be able to go in. I don't think he has the luxury of being able to wait that long. So normally you just buy like Orchid, for example, and then try to go in based on that. But if he goes Orchid, I feel like he's too susceptible to just being crowd controlled and just dying. The last couple of fights, he's tried to find Jerax. The last time Jerax just blinked away from him and juked him, and then he just gets hexed under the tower, top lane, and dies. Like, he's going to need defensive items to feel safe enough to really be able to go in here, because everyone else just dies instantly. Like, you get Weave put on you, then you have a Desolator Blink TA, and a Bloodseeker with like 600 GPM. Like, everyone just melts.
It's not looking pretty for the side of Newbee at the moment. That's for certain. Top lane, Banana just scouting out Jerax. I haven't got any gem on the side of Hot 6 yet, but oh, the dust in fact came out. He knew it. He knew it was coming in. Jerax will lose his life for a Chart TP out of that one, son. They'll find June. They're going to be able to find Rabbit here as well, and now Banana trying to juke it out for the tree line. Do they actually have detection though? That is the question, and I don't think they do here. No. Banana's going to be okay here. He's not low enough for Bloodseeker to scout him out, so he will actually be able to get away. But the same can't be said, of course, for June and Rabbit, losing their lives here on the Storm and the Spirit Breaker. Another very nice trade here for the side of Hot 6, and 2.5k gold now on top of your BKB. This Bloodseeker getting well and truly out of control. In fact, we don't normally look at this stat, but let's have a look at his GPM. It's yeah, it's already over 600 at 26 minutes in. It's looking very, very steady for this man. And off the back of it, they'll be able to take this tier 2. 26 minutes in now, all tier 2s have been taken, and they themselves yet to lose a tier 1 from their side of the map. And at the moment, Hot 6 are just all over Newbee.
Well, Roshan's up too, so if MVP want to just go back and do Rosh, they can. The Psionic Trap is actually placed at the beginning of the pit, and Dire
okay,
Courier down.
It didn't have anything on though, so.
Yeah, the Bounty Hunter dies for it. I think that's fine. Like you mentioned, there's nothing on the Courier, so it's no big deal.
Yeah, that's a trade that Hot 6 will be happy with.
Yeah, the Bounty Hunter kill, I think, probably not worth more than the Courier, but I think it's relative at this point, and they probably don't care too much.
I mean, it also, well, I was going to say it shuts any hope of them getting Roshan away from a Hot 6, but I don't think there was any to start.
There's no way.
It's gone. It's gone, just like that. Aegis now into your TA. 28 to 12, Hot 6.
I guess the question is, does 4F go Basher? Oh yeah, he does. Okay.
Well,
I was gonna say,
right.
there's a couple of
before you needed to ask.
Yeah, there's a couple of items that are really good, I think, here. Like AC is one of them. When you already have Weave and you have Deso on your TA, like the minus armor for being able to go high ground is really nice. And the thing about Seeker too is, he already does so much damage because the Thirst and the item build that he went that sometimes you can just end up making just super tanky items like AC and Scotty. You see that kind of frequently on a lot of Bloodseekers. And that way you can just not have to worry about Blood Rage getting you killed so hard when you're going up into tier 3s. But Basher is still really good. Abyssal Blade obviously going to be the endgame choice here for 4Ev. Just get an Abyssal Blade on one hero and you actually will just kill them, I think, before the stun wears off. Like, that's how much damage he deals right now.
No, son. Did get scouted out here by the Sentry. Just able to get himself out before the track comes up. So he's going to be able to keep himself with his invis room for a little bit more. But they do know he's got it, so I'm sure the side of Newbee are going to be extra careful about getting caught out by this one. Bounty Hunter did manage to finish himself off this 4-staff. Of course, very nice in case the Clockwork does catch him out in the cogs. And Moo has the BKB now on top of the mech. But still, just in comparison to the cause of the Hot 6 is not a lot. I mean, your TA now, just 200 gold away from a completed Daedalus.
Yeah, when that Courier is alive, he'll be able to send it out to him. He'll most likely have the gold by then. It feels kind of bad for Newbee because I really don't feel like they were outdrafted or anything. I just feel like they had this kind of timing window where, like, the first smoke gank went horribly wrong, and then every single, like, subsequent team fight after that just never favored them. Every single time they engage, it just felt like Hot 6 were in a better position. They understood their priority targets very well. And then 4Ev just got completely monstrous, and MP was able to
I mean, what do they do to stop this? They will get off a static link onto 4Ev, and he has managed to steal 84. But I don't know if that's enough here to hold off the side of Hot 6. They're ready to go. Just standing here on the front, clearing out the waves. They've already got half of the damage done to this tier 3. And Newbee just being pressured into their base here, having to go back to the fountain as well to top themselves back up after just the initial harassment here from TA and the gang. And yeah, Courier back up now, so we'll see the Daedalus make its way over to MP. And they're they're just going to hold their ground here. They've got the Aegis, of course, on the TA and wait for the weave, and let's pop it up and go up to the high ground. He goes straight up onto up. He's lucky he had that Ghost Scepter. Sansheng will be able to go. No, the flare indeed of a Rabbit coming in. They're trying to turn this one. Can they do it though? June's already down. Look at the damage from Frev with the bashes as well. Moo's got to run. This Bloodseeker's going to chase him down. He's going to look for Rabbit and the gang as well, potentially. No, he's just going to leave them. He says this is an objective-based game. They'll head for the tower. Newbee with 3 heroes down. None with buyback available at this point of the game. 31-12. Hot 6 will be able to find themselves the bottom round. And GG's just called straight up. At this point, Newbee just realized there's very little chance of them being able to turn this around. And at 20,000 lead 30 minutes in, I think very little might be an understatement. What a performance from Hot 6. I've got to be honest, I didn't expect it to be as much of a walk in the park as that. And at the least, going that way as well. That was incredible.
It was really even until the first smoke gank. Like, that was the first point in the game where Newbee were showing a little bit of weakness because they commit a lot to